Good evening, happy Wednesday, and thank you for tuning into the QueendomNation show, where all things are royal and loyal. I am your host, Queen Chari L. So I'm so glad to have you with me this evening. I hope everybody had a productive and awesome week. Last week we talked about different things that you can do to make your skin a little bit more attractive for the summertime. So this week I just wanted to go a little bit different. I told you guys I was gonna be changing up the show just a little bit. And so one thing that I did say when I first started my podcast was that my show was that I love hip hop music. Okay. And so this weekend the BET Awards celebrated 50 years of hip hop music. Okay. For those of you that have not seen the show yet, please go check it out because it was a who's who of hip hop that, I'm talking dating far back as the Sugar Hill Gang. So, but I'm just going to give you some tidbits of information of different things that I loved about the show and different things that went down at the show. Okay. So let's talk about, first of all, how the BET celebrated these awards with tributes to to the genre's earliest voices, especially such, like we said, like the Sugar Hill Gang, MC Light, D Nice, Big Daddy Kane. That was so awesome. To the different late legends, to all the artists that have passed away during their time. And then they showcased new talent. It was a show packed spectacular performance of so many different artists. When it felt like just being at a big old hip hop party. It was just great. It was great. So as I was watching this, I felt like I was like back in my teens and back in my 20s, listening to this hip hop. But it was just awesome, guys. Like, I think one of the biggest surprises was seeing Quavo and Offset, the surviving members of the Migos, perform Bad and Bougie in honor of Takeoff, especially with the big image of Takeoff, behind them with the space shuttle. That was awesome. And if, for those of you that don't know, Takeoff died in a shooting last December. But I thought that that was so awesome, the amazing tribute that they did to Takeoff in that beginning set. Um, Not only that, but throughout the show, they were showing in remembrance different artists. Okay, they had Tupac was shown, one of his songs was played, and then when Warren G came up and he did Regulators, and they had the dedication to Nate Dogg in the background. That was so awesome. And then you had Notorious B.I.G. They had a dedication to him, and then also the tribute to Biz Markie. So we love Biz Markie coming up, and then of course Pop Smoke was also included into that tribute. But one thing I can say is DJ and MC Kid Capri did his thing, guys. Like, he kept the show just crunk the whole time. It was like every time an artist went off, I was like, oh my god, who they bringing out next? Oh my god, it was just so awesome. They pay homage to a lot of the late hip hop stars, often by just quickly highlighting, some of their tastes in the background, especially like when they would go to commercial. They would highlight a lot of these different artists that have passed on. But one highlight of the night to me was the tribute to Busta Rhymes. And for a lot of people that didn't know Busta Rhymes when he was with Leaders of the New School, I really loved him back then. He was one of my favorite artists of the group because he stood out. He was different, and his look and everything about him, his heritage, everything about him was different. But so to see him receive the Lifetime Achievement Award given to him by Swiss Beats and Marlon Wayans was one of the greatest things to see that night, because not only did he receive that award, but to see him stand up there and be as emotional, as he was, because that was a long time coming for Busta Rhymes. For anybody that has been following him throughout the years, he's an amazing artist. I don't know if you've ever been to one of his shows, but let me tell you, the first concert I ever went to, I saw Busta Rhymes. He was the headliner And I'm telling you, when him and Swift Star came out, this was one of the most amazing shows I'd ever seen in my life, because not only was he hype, he kept the audience engaged and involved, but his music, it was just so on point, and then he would get that riff. How y'all know how he do. He get that riff going, and then once he get that riff, the music would just stop. It was just so on point. The show was just so spectacular. So to see Busta Rhymes live, it was just so amazing. And not only that, but when you get people like Diddy, Janet Jackson, Chuck D, Missy Elliott, Pharrell Williams, Mariah Carey, all of these people that he had worked with, that had recorded a tribute video to him in honor of his success, was truly, truly amazing. I just want to read quote unquote a portion of his speech that I just thought was amazing. And he said, "All right, I'm gonna wear it on my sleeve. I do want to cry." As he started to cry, he talked about his children. He talked about being kicked out of his hip hop group, Leaders of the New School. And he learned how to rebuild by going into studios, sharing his marijuana, with whoever was in the studio, and he would quickly whip up a 16 bar verse while in the studio. But by default, he pioneered the feature that he did with these people. He said a lot of greatness comes from people because of default, but it's because it's the magic that we have. And that was a quote that he said as he received his award. And what I loved about it is, even after he received his award and then he went back and he came back and he performed. And y'all know how Busta Rhymes is. He gives all his energy, as he performs. The MC teamed up with Swift Star for Annie at Remix. They did Scenario. They did Look at Me Now. I Know What You Want. And then they got up there. And then what I loved about it is the way they ended it, like with Coi Ray, because I just love her song, that she did with Busta Rhymes. Girls is Players too, and so to end that, that whole set with her, it was just amazing, guys. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it was just so amazing. Not only that, but they had Bi with the beach ball, among them. Halfway through the performers, he lifted gears and then he turned onto his Jamaican, his reggae side, and he had some hot people come out that represented his culture and his heritage as well during his performance. So throughout the show, they had old school hip hop heroes and they had modern stars that were mixed up on stage. They were performing tracks like celebrating rap's most influential cities and innovation. I'm talking from Miami, Trick Daddy and Trina, rock through, you don't know Nan. And then, Uncle Luke came out there with I wanna rock, I wanna rock, I wanna rock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna tell you, I'm a big fan of Trick Daddy. Like, you could play anybody you want on the radio, but I am like the biggest Trick Daddy fan. Like, if you go on my Pandora, it's nothing but Trick Daddy. Okay, so I'm definitely a fan. Not only did they leave Miami, when they left Miami, y'all, they went to Atlanta. Jeezy came through there, repping. They know, that was awesome. And then Ti, of course, from the South, came in representing his hit 24s. And then guess who we had behind that? Of course, it was Master P with No Limit Soldiers and Make Them Say, na 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 na. So, not only that, but behind that, they came from Miami to Atlanta, and then they went on to the islands. They went, reggae style on us. They brought out Dougie Fresh, and of course Dougie Fresh and his beatbox. Y'all know how he do. Little Vicious came out with his acapella version of Freaks. Y'all know we used to love that song back in the day. And then not only that, Matt Ryan came behind and performed Take It Easy. But not only that, guys, they had Patra came out with Romantic Call. So it was just like a who's who of just music greatness on this show. Okay. It was amazing. And also what I love is after they did that Hail Mary of Tupac's and then Warren G did Regulators, who they come back with. Because now we have to go represent these females, right? They came back with Yo Yo. Okay. And I don't know if y'all know, but Yo Yo did a song on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack years ago. And I always be trying to think of the name of it, but it was one of the greatest tracks from a female artist I had ever heard. You know, everybody knew You Can't Play With My Yo-Yo, but please go back and look on the soundtrack of Boys in the Hood and look at the song that Yo-Yo did, because it was one of the most phenomenal songs from a female artist I had ever heard. It was one of my favorites by her. Then they came out with Tigers, Rack City Chick, and then they had E40 came out with Tell Me When to Go. So, I mean, as I'm going through this lineup, guys, like this show was just so energetic, and I'm gonna tell you, it made me feel like I was back in high school. Like, and then I felt like I was like back in my 20s. Big Daddy Kane, when he came out, I was like, oh my God, then he did that dance. I know how he did back in the day. He always had a dance with his routine. But he came out doing his thing. They had Chief Keef. They had the Yin Yang Twins did a whisper song. That was so cool watching them do that live. It was nothing like that song coming up. Everything was pretty good through the show. Then they had Patti LaBelle. She came up to honor Tina Turner, singing Tina Turner's song "Simply the Best." Okay, but what I loved about Patti LaBelle, she is such a phenomenal singer. And halfway through her performance, she could not read the words on the teleprompter. And so she yelled out to the crowd, I'm trying, y'all. Which I thought was like amazing. You know, she let us know that she could not read the teleprompter, but she was giving it her all. And if anybody know Patti LaBelle, like she could forget the words and hit that high note, and we gonna forget all about it. Cause y'all know how we just love us some Tina Turner. I mean some Patti LaBelle. But what I loved is the opening of the show, which was Little Uzi Vert. He opened up the show. Um, and as he did that, they went through like a medley of the earliest days of the New York City 80s rap culture, which featured groups like the Sugar Hill Gangs, Rappers Delight, MC Lights, Cha Cha Cha, and of course D Nice. They call me D Nice. And then Big Daddy Kane's Raw. Um, and then to a partial cover of Just a Friend, where they pay homage, of course, to Biz Markie. What I love that Big Daddy Kane said during his performance, he said, I would not be in the business or on this stage tonight if it wasn't for one person. And that was Biz Markie. And he was saying, rest in peace to Biz Markie with that statement, because he made it clear that he would not be doing his career had it not been for people like Biz Markie. And also, I wanted to go back and talk about some of the people that had won and some of the performances, because I'm going to tell you, some of those performances was like super, super awesome. Lotto, I am such a fan. I am such a fan of this young lady. Like, I love hip hop to the core. And this young lady gives just so much energy, so much definition, so much depth with her performances and her words. You know, I just love her. I will forever be a fan of hers. Her performance was super, super amazing. And not only was that amazing for her, but for her to go on and win Best Female Hip Hop Artist. And what I love, the fact she came up on the stage and she only had one shoe on. But she, it was just amazing just watching her speech and everything. Even with that one shoe on, she was just as amazing as she wanted to be. So I remember watching her on the show when she was a little girl with Jermaine Dupri. I forget the name of the show, but they were little kid rap artists. And I remember her being one of those little kids on there. And I remember when she first came on it, like her style and everything was a little bit different than most normal kids her age. And so I remember them on the show helping her, you know, ante up her style. So to see her go from that to being such an amazing and dynamic performer, and not only that, but to go on and win Best Female Hip Hop Artist was super, super fantastic. She is such a phenomenal young lady. Um, I also want to say DeVito. I'm such a fan of DeVito. I really, really enjoyed his performance. It's nothing like watching performers that tap back into the culture that we come from, which was truly, truly amazing. I loved it. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. Okay. So when I see people like Redman get on the stage, like I am such a fan of Redman. My favorite album is Muddy Waters, of course. But when you had Redman, you got Keith Murray, you got Eric Sermon and Mad Skills coming on there doing their thing. Truly, 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 truly phenomenal. It was just so amazing watching all of these artists. Um, and then also to see the best new artist go to Miss Coco Jones. She's such a beautiful young lady, such a phenomenal young lady. Oh, her performance was absolutely amazing. Her voice just beautiful, flawless, just phenomenal. Her whole outfit was just beautiful. I love when they turned the side camera and you could see her outfit from the side and how, as beautiful as she was standing there, how gorgeous she was from the side. Um, in that outfit, it was just amazing. Of course, a hunger Ice Spice. Let's go. Ice Spice did her thing. Like New York stand up. Okay, yeah, she did her thing. And not only her, but Lola Brooks. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. These girls came to represent. They was not playing. Also, you had Dochi. I hope I said the name right. Dochi did her performance. Her performance was awesome. And then she had Trioville to come out there doing the performance, which was super, super great. It was great. Let's talk about Video Director of the Year. This is one of my favorite parts of this show. Um, Tayana Taylor won. Her mother went up to accept her acceptance speech, but Tayana wasn't there. She was someplace else. And so when her mother called her, and I thought it was just so cute when she was like, what's going on? She had no clue, what was going on, but it was just so amazing just watching her reaction when she realized that she had won the award. I was completely in awe. It was just so amazing watching her. And then, of course, best movie we all know was Wakanda Forever. So, like I said, I don't know if you got to watch the BET Hip Hop Awards. That was just a little rundown that I gave you guys. It was such an amazing, amazing, amazing show. Like it to me, it was one of the best shows that I had seen in a long time. And I love all the hip hop award shows, but that show really, really took me back into my childhood. It took me back into wanting to be back in high school again and be with my friends I hadn't seen in a long time. Just music that we grew up on, music that we, became adults to, music that we went through our teenage years with. So it was really, 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 really great. But I just wanted to spend the first half of the show talking about the awards. So I'm glad that you guys got an earful. And if you have not seen them, please go check out the BET Hip Hop Awards. They were so amazing. But one thing I wanted to talk to you about today too is some of the best summer vacations to go on for 2023. So they did a list, and I'm just gonna give you a few of some of the things some of the places that they said is some of the great places to go this summer to get out the house. Okay, so number one vacation best spot was in Glacier National Park. Okay, they said that is number one for the best vacation to go to this summer, and they said in August, the best time to visit the park is in August because in the daytime the temperatures are average 80 degrees, and it's still snow on the ground, but that's the best time to go. Okay. Number two is Yellowstone National Park. If you have not been there, for you nature lovers, that flock to Yellowstone each summer. You get to go see Old Faithful's awe-inspiring eruptions, like going through the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone National Park. Um, they say that this is one of the greatest places to go in the summertime. But if you guys go to the Grand Canyon, to Yellowstone National Park, just be careful. Okay, we hear so many different things that happen. People go on these vacations. Just be careful, guys. But that is number two. So let's go at number one. Number one is Glacier National Park. Number two is Yellowstone National Park. Number three is the Grand Canyon National Park. It is the number three top place to visit for the summer. And it's the busiest time to visit Arizona's Grand Canyon. But don't let that dissuade you from going and taking a trip there because they say the North Rim is often less crowded and you can enjoy miles of scenic dives as well as hiking trails. So if you want to stick to the South Rim, consider parking your car and exploring it by bike. So that's completely up to you. But the Grand Canyon is number 3 on our list, okay? But just be careful when you go out to the Grand Canyon, guys, okay? And just make sure that you're well equipped for the heat, and make sure that you got some suntan lotion and stuff on your skin if you're gonna be out there hiking and going on. But that is number 3. Number 4 is they said go to San Diego. Um, they say San Diego has a plethora of shorelines, including Coronado, Mission, and the Pacific beaches. They have museums filled with the Balboa Park. And they said these are things that make it easier for families to come there for and flock to vacation. And they're also for relaxation seekers. So if you have not been to San Diego, go visit San Diego. That's number 4 on the list. Okay, number 5 is the Grand Teton National Park. They said this place has spellbounding beauty, challenging rock climbing routes, relaxing floating excursions, and numerous trails that attract travelers to this Wyoming National Park for a summer vacation. They said there is roughly 310,000 acres of Grand Teton National Park that is there for you, and it is just an affordable getaway. So make sure you kind of check that out. They have campsites around. They have visitors that can avoid pricey parking and dining. Where you can go to a grocery store, which is in Jackson Hole. I'm sorry, before you go into the park. So you can actually go get grocery shopping, get you some groceries, and go on out there and cook. Where you don't have to worry about going out to the big old diners and spending a whole lot of money. So again, number 1 is Glacier National Park. Number 2 is Yellowstone National Park. Number 3 is Grand Canyon National Park. Number 4 is San Diego, and number 5 is Grand Teton National Park. Okay, so number 6 is San Francisco for all you guys that like the Bay Area. So the Bay Area summers are foggy and chilly, but compared to other parts of the country, their high skies do not go above 60 degrees. So if you want to go to a beautiful place for the summer, but you don't want to be too hot, San Diego is your place. Okay. They said most of the lows reach like in the mid 50s. So if you want to go there, just make sure that you're dressed for the weather. Okay. And they said that these temperatures can make it great for outdoor attractions like going to the Muir Woods National Monument and the iconic Golden Gate Bridge. Okay. So if you're in San Francisco, make sure you go visit these 2 places. Okay. And they also have the Fillmore Jazz Festival and the San Francisco Giants baseball game at Oracle Park. So if you're in San Francisco, that's a great place for you to go visit. Number 7 is the Bar Harbor. Okay, Bar Harbor, Maine. They said it is a tranquil paradise, praised for its coastal beauty, and it comes alive in the summer with pleasant highs in the 70s. So you ain't got to worry about being too hot there either. Um, they say it's the gateway to Acadia National Park, and the town drives travelers that like to hike, bike, boat, and just soak up the stunning scenery there. Okay, so if you want to go there, that is a beautiful place to go to. They are known for New England's classic like their lobster rolls and their clam chowder. I'm a big fan of clam chowder. Like, I love clam chowder. I don't care who make it. I love clam chowder. I'm such a fan. All right, so let's go to number 8, which is Adrian Dax. Okay, while people like hiking, camping, and canoeing, I hope I'm saying it right. Adirondack is like a 6 million acre summer camp. Okay, along with summer days, the temperatures are usually in the 70s and the 80s, so you'll be able to experience all that the region has to offer. Okay, it has adventurous hikers, where adventurous hikers can be busy. It has more than 3,000 lakes. It has lake and lake Champlain. They offer summer activities for you guys like boating and kayaking. And it has a scenic, beautiful, beautiful backdrop, okay, in the evening time. So at bed down time, you can look at either going to a lodge or you can look at going to a campground. So that's another good place to go to. Okay, and then number 9 is Seattle. They made the list. They said Seattle sees the best weather this time of year. They have less rain and they have warmer temperatures. Their high is usually in the 70s. But this summer, this is a great place to go because you can grab a cup of the city's famous coffee and head to the Discovery Park or the Olympic Sculpture Park to enjoy the views of the mountains and water surrounding the city, guys. You can also explore the art scenery there, including the Chutley Garden and Glass, sample all the goodies at Pike Place, and visit iconic Space Needle. So if you're looking for a place to go in Seattle, there's your place to go, guys. Let's keep going. That's number 9 on the list, Seattle. Never been there. Would like to go. All right, number 10 on the list is the Outer Banks. I don't know how many of you guys been to the Outer Banks, but the Outer Banks is a quintessential family vacation spot, okay? The Outer Banks fills to the brim summer. It's for summer beachgoers, okay? It has activities for the kids, for teenagers, and it is in the state of North Carolina, my great state. The destination, it includes fishing, it includes windsurfing, it includes boogie boarding, it includes kiting adventures, it includes kiteboarding, it includes hang gliding, and classic kite flying. How many of y'all know y'all love flying kites? When we went to Mount Trashmore in Virginia Beach, it was so awesome because the wind was like erratic up there. So it was so nice out there watching people fly those wonderful, wonderful kites. But if you go to the Outer Banks and you're interested in history, you know you can go there to see the Wright brothers' first flight site and Roanoke Island's colonists. Okay. So those are two things you can look forward to. Also on the list in the state of North Carolina is Hilton Head. Okay. Hilton Head, guys, features everything from resorts to vacation rentals, in addition to amenities like golf courses, tennis courts, spas, and beaches, making it an appealing getaway for all kinds of travelers. Okay. The island boasts summer highs in the high 80s and the low 90s. But the ocean, guys, is always nearby and is always ready to welcome visitors for a dip to get in there and cool yourselves off. Okay. Summer travelers can try activities like biking, kayaking, fishing, hiking, horseback riding, bird watching, and just watching the waves while you eat dinner at a waterfront restaurant. Isn't it great? Number 12, we're going to go to Cannon Beach, especially in July and August. This is the high season for Oregon to locate and for you to just go hang out there and spread across the several beaches that are there. Okay. They have everything from tide pools to towering rock formations to waves, ideal for surfing. Okay. So plan your summer vacation for June for a chance to spot migrating gray whales and tufted puffins nesting at Haystack Rock. Okay, so before we go, I'm gonna go ahead and go through those 12 places to go visit one more time. Okay, so number one spot is Glacier National Park. Number two is Yellowstone National Park. Number three is Grand Canyon National Park. Number four is San Diego. Number five is Grand Teton National Park. Number six is San Francisco. Number seven is the Bar Harbor. Number eight is I hope I say this right. Adirondacks. It's Adirondacs. Adirondacks. Excuse me, something's in my eye. Okay. Um, Seattle, Outer Banks, Hilton Head, and Cannon Beach. Those are awesome, great places for you to take your families to this summer. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show today as we talked about the 50 years of hip hop on the BET Awards. And as I gave you different places for the summer to go, take your family. And if you don't have anybody that you want to go with, just go by yourself and enjoy your vacation. Okay, but just make sure you look at all the safety tips and everything that you need before you take your trip, so that way as you're on vacation you are safe and you're having a good time. So before we go, I want to give you our Queendom quote of the day, and I'm going to give it to you from Coco Jones, from her acceptance speech at the BET Awards. Okay, she said, "For all my black girls who we do have to fight a little harder to get what we deserve. But don't stop fighting even when it doesn't make sense. And you're sure not going to know how you're going to get out of those circumstances. Keep pushing because we are so deserving of great things." Again, for all my black girls, we do have to fight a little harder to get what we deserve. But don't stop fighting even when it doesn't make sense. And you're not sure how you're going to get out of those circumstances. Keep pushing because we are deserving of great things. I'm your host, Queen Chariel. Thank you for tuning into the Queendom Nation show. I hope you have a great and productive week. Happy 4th of July. Be safe out there, guys. Don't get hurt. Tune in next week as we get back into the Queendom and talk about all things that are royal and loyal. Please follow us at CharielDye.com, CharielDye.com. Also, the Queendom Nation Radio Show on Facebook. And also, we are Chariel Dye on YouTube. So please follow us. If you want to catch the videos, please look up Manette Numi Smith, MINNETTENUME Smith on Facebook to see all the videos. Thank you.